going on, guys? Vegito here, and this is a new what if for the channel, being what if Ash evolved Pikachu. I'm sorry this one took so long to come out, as this one suffered from a serious amount of writer's block, as I had to pull my community tab asking which of the new ideas for this year I should be making first. And since apparently this one is a classic in terms of Pokemon what ifs, it just dominated the poll. As I'm not gonna have a like goal for this part since I want to see how much interest this part gets. But enough of all that. Let's get into this new Pokemon what if. We start when Ash has his first battle with Enhanced Surge, and Pikachu gets landed in the hospital, as Ash gets offered a Thunderstone to evolve as Pikachu. As normally in canon, Pikachu would refuse to evolve, but here's the change. Pikachu agrees to evolve, as it hits the Thunderstone with its tail, causing its evolution into Raichu. And since Ash didn't evolve Pikachu as soon as he caught it, Ash's Raichu wouldn't have the same flaws as Surge's Raichu, as it actually learns all of its speed attacks, such as Quick Attack and Agility. As Ash pulls up the Surge's gym for a rematch, as Ash's Raichu uses its new power with its speed to dominate Surge's Raichu, allowing Ash to get the Thunder Badge. As in Bye Bye Butterfree still happens, as even Pikachu evolving can't change his tearjerker of an episode. Although Team Rocket wouldn't be as motivated to stalk Ash for 20 years, as Ash in this battle with Sabrina, as Raichu would put up a better fight than in canon, but Ash still loses, as Ash still befriends Haunter, and Raichu beats Kadabra in the rematch. And plus, Ash actually catches Haunter in this timeline, bringing his team back to 6. As in Brock, Ash enjoys Brock's jelly-filled donuts.
These donuts are great! Jelly-filled are my favorite! Nothing beats a jelly-filled donut!
As then James still kicks Mankey, cutting its evolution into Primate, as Ash still battles it with Charmander, and catches it swapping out his Haunter. As an Ash offends the whole perfume community and gets kicked out of the Celadon gym, which is weird since Erica has to accept Ash's challenge to the Pokemon League rules, as Ash then teams up with Team Rocket and dons his Ashley disguise. As an Ash battles Erica, with Ash using Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Pidgeotto, as Erica's Tangela, Weepinbell, and Gloom, as Tangela comes out against Bulbasaur, as in Bulbasaur is going for Vine Whip, which unfortunately that wouldn't work. But Tangela grabbed Bulbasaur by the leg and with Mind Whip as Tangela slams Bulbasaur like a ragdoll. Kinda like how Hulk slammed Loki in the first Avengers movie. Yes, I know, I've used that reference a lot in my what ifs. It's a funny moment, as in using Stun Spore to knock out Bulbasaur. As through Gen 1 logic, status conditions can knock out a Pokemon, for some reason. As then Charmander comes out as it torches Tangela with a flamethrower, and then Weepinbell comes out as it gets torched by a flamethrower. As Gloom that comes out, as then Ash has Charmander use its flamethrower to try and torch Gloom. But then, Team Rocket starts the fire. So Ash has Squirtle help Misty put out the fire, as an Ash saves Gloom, allowing Ash to get his 5th gym badge. As in the P1 fighting tournament goes in canon, but this time, Ash will keep Primate, as he will see through Anthony's scam. As in Grigi Seed goes the same, as Ash still catches Muck, gets offended by the smell, and sends it to Professor Oak. As Ash arrives at the dojo and meets Koga. As Gym Bell, as that battle is still 2-on-2. As Ash uses Pidgeotto and Charmander, as Koga sends in Venonat against Pidgeotto, as Venonat still balls into Venomoth, as Pidgeotto uses Aerial Ace to blitz Venomoth. As then Pidgeotto uses Steel Wing, and then Air Slash to take down Venomoth. As then Golbat comes out, as then Golbat uses Poison Fang, and then Toxic. As Pidgeotto is then poisoned. As Saints Train warns Raichu and the other Pokemon, Pidgeotto manages to evolve into Pidgeot. As he used Heat Wave, and then Team Rocket shows up like in canon, interrupting the battle. Which means Ash and Koga have to have another battle outside, as that battle is 1-on-1, with Ash using Charmander and Koga using Golbat. As Charmander uses Flamethrower to try and stop Golbat from using its constant Screech attacks. As then Charmander uses Dragon Rage, and then combining it with Flamethrower to knock out Golbat, allowing Ash to get his Soul Badge. And surprisingly, Charmander managed to evolve into Charmeleon after the battle. As Ashton says, "Huh, 2 evolutions in 1 day? Huh, neat." And here's the twist. Charmeleon will actually obey Ash in this timeline. As the Bulbasaur's Garden episode happens, as in canon, Bulbasaur refused to evolve. Honestly, I think it was... That's because how much of a jerk Charmander became after evolving. So after seeing Raichu and Charmeleon obeying Ash, it swallows its pride and evolves to Ivysaur. As in, the Safari Zone episode happens, with Ash still catching his 3 Tauros, but this time, he only catches 1 Tauros, the one he actually uses in battle. He also catches a Rhyhorn, again Rhyhorn since it's frequently used in What Ifs, and Scyther, a What If Has Circle One Time reference, as well as Dragonair's Baby Dratini, a reference to my What If Land sponsored Ash series, as this will probably be the only time I mention this episode being Electric Soldier Porygon. Yes, I know, we get called conceited, I know. As Ash actually bonds with the Porygon, as he uses Raichu to battle it. As Ash manages to catch it, as this will be Ash's last catch for Kanto. As Charmeleon evolves into Charizard while fighting an Aerodactyl, as Charizard still obeys him in this timeline, as Ash heads to Celadon Island, as his battle with Blaine happens. As Ash using Squirtle, Raichu, and Charizard. As honestly, that battle would go as a canon, but Raichu wanted to take a ride on earlier with the whole aim for the horn strategy, as it weakens Magmar enough for Charizard to take the win, allowing Ash to obtain his Volcano Badge. As in the Viridian Gym battle happens, as Gary gets bodied by Giovanni's Mewtwo. As Ash begins the battle, as Squirtle comes against Machamp, as that battle tends to go the same, but maybe easier. Here's Squirtle training with stronger Pokemon. As Ivysaur comes against Kingler, as Kingler with Solar Beam and Razor Leaf. As Rhydon comes out next, as then Pidgeot comes out to use Steel Wing and then Double Edge. As an Ash gets his Earth Badge. And the Gary, seeing Ash's strong Pokemon, would actually light a fire under him to try and get stronger than Ash. As in the training arc, mainly stay the same. As the lead begins with Ash taking on Mandy, as Krabby still evolves into Kingler and sweeps him. As in the second round occurs, but considering Ash's opponent is only shown to have a Nidorino, Ash decides to use his Rhyhorn as well as Squirtle in round 2. As round 3 to Peep Hellman, I know, real creative name. And he's only shown to have a Cloyster and an Arcanine. This battle would just be a wash for Ash, as Raichu would just make it for a cakewalk. As normally, Gary loses the 3rd round, but since Ash kind of lit a fire under him and turned to training, I would say Gary could win his match, allowing him to advance to the top 32, as Gary wins his match there as well. As Ash fights Jeanette Fisher, as in Charizard is obeying Ash's timeline, Ash hits his Charizard and sweeps her team! And this holds nothing but grass and bug types, as in Ash fights Richie, who do the same monsters as canon, since Team Rocket would still stalk him. Except Pikachu is now Raichu, as this will be a fantastic fight. Although Pikachu and Charizard obey, well, with Raichu and Charizard obeying him, this would be a wash for Ash. Ash advances to the quarterfinals, as Ash's opponent is revealed to be Gary, as Ash decides to use Raichu, Charizard, Ivysaur, Kingler, Porygon, and Rhyhorn, as Ash decides to use Blastoise, like Ash, Gary, to use Blastoise, Nidoking, Arcanine, Golem, Alakazam, and Dodrio, as Blastoise and Raichu come out first, as Raichu starts out the battle with a Thunderbolt, and using agility to get speed up, as Blastoise uses his Hydro Pump while using Rapid Spin. As in a surprise twist, as Gary prepped for Ash's Raichu by teaching his Blastoise how to use Earthquake. As Blastoise pulls out an Earthquake attack, dealing major damage to Raichu. As in Raichu fires back with a Thunder attack. As in Blastoise uses another Earthquake, which results in a double knockout from a KO. I decided to have Raichu and Blastoise take each other out early on, so Ash and Gary can't rely on their starters to cheese the win for him. As then Kingler and Arcanine come out next, as Kingler goes for Crab Hammer as Arcanine uses extreme speed in a combination with Flare Blitz. As Ash has Kingler try to sense Arcanine, as it hits a Crab Hammer right to the face. Yeah, Hyper Beams knock out Arcanine. As the Nidoking comes out 3rd for Gary, as he goes for a Drill Run to get close. As he grabs Kingler, as he goes for a point-blank Sludge Wave. As Kingler gets poisoned, as Kingler hits Nidoking with another Crab Hammer. As Nidoking goes for Thunderbolt to knock out Kingler. As in Porygon comes out 3rd for Ash, as he goes for Tri-Attack and then Psychic, as 2 attacks combine to knock out Nidoking, leaving Gary with 3 while Ash has 4, as Alakazam comes out, as he goes for Focus Blast, as Porygon fights it with Shadow Ball, as Alakazam tries to put more power to the attack, making it a stalemate. as in trying to take it Alakazam as it goes for Focus Blast. But unfortunately, Porygon wouldn't react in time, as it gets knocked out. As Ash calls in his Rhyhorn next, as he goes for Earthquake and then Rock Slide by Alakazam. As he gets knocked out, as in Dodrio comes out 5th for Gary, as it sets up a Swords Dance and goes for Tri Attack. And then Steel Wing, as Rhyhorn goes for Stone Edge. But the Steel Wing combined with Tri Attack would knock out Rhyhorn, as Val's down to 2-on-2, as Ivysaur comes out 5th for Ash. As then Ivysaur does Solar Beam by Dodrio, as he goes for Jolpeck. As this resulted in a double knockout, as now it's a one-on-one, with Charizard and Golem come out, as Golem goes for Thunder Punch, as Charizard goes for a Seismic Toss, and then Flamethrower as a Dragon Racing happens, as Golem goes for Stone Edge and then Rock Slide, which ends up leaving Charizard with an injured wing, meaning Charizard loses out the ability to fly. My first battle, as then it goes for Power Up Punch, as then Golem goes for Rock Slide, which knocks out Charizard, which takes Ash out of the tournament. And with that, we'll leave off this timeline for right now. And remember, they don't like go for this one, so I'll get on out of here. Peace!